We all have bad habits that we just wish that we didn't have. Whether it be scrolling through Instagram, playing video games, or eating junk food, not going to the gym, sitting around all day watching Netflix, whatever it is, we just wish that we could get rid of it in an instant. And I already know, you've tried everything. You've tried setting limits on how much time you can use your devices and what websites you can go to. You've tried not having junk food in the house, putting your workout shoes right next to the door so that you can put them on and just go right out to the gym. You've done all of that, but none of it has worked. And I'm here to tell you today that none of those things will work. Okay, they might work in the short term, like you might go to the gym once or twice in the entire month, or you might make it 1 or 2 days without watching those explicit videos on the internet that you said that you weren't gonna watch because you set the limits. Yeah, it might work for a little bit, but it's not going to really change your behavior. Once again, how do I know this? Because I've done all of it. I've watched the videos, I've read the articles, I've joined subreddits, and I'm able to make a little bit of progress before it all completely unravels and I'm right back in the same situation that I just was in. So then, once I moved away from all of my friends and family this past January, I started to realize that I don't really have any purpose. I was able to free up a bunch of my time, but the things that I was doing wasn't fulfilling me at all. And the things that I used to actually enjoy doing, the challenges that I liked to endure, I didn't want to do them anymore. I didn't have any motivation to do them, and so I just fell right back into all of my old bad habits. And this has kind of sparked a revelation of sorts in my head that maybe the bad habits aren't the reason why I'm unhappy, and that those very same bad habits are just a symptom of the disease of lacking purpose. And to back up this claim, I have evidence to prove my hypothesis is 100% fact. Let's start back in 2015, 2016, my senior year of high school, when I realized that I was spending all of my teenage years just playing video games, and I decided I wanted to be cool. I wanted to go out and do some things. I was just getting bored with life. And if you're 16, 17, 18 years old and you're already bored with life, you gotta realize that there's some sort of problem going on. So that ultimately became my purpose. So once I had ingrained that purpose into my very being, I didn't care to play video games anymore. I wanted to go out, play sports, join some clubs, try out for my senior class play. I wanted to do every single thing that would get me around people, and I wasn't even thinking about playing video games, playing 2K, Call of Duty, none of it. I didn't play it at all, pretty much my whole senior year. And then I also started to realize that when I did watch those explicit videos and, you know, whatever you do with that, I became weird around people, around girls. And that was like the whole point of what I was trying to do, not be weird around people, and low-key, especially girls. So once I realized that those videos online were directly hindering me from reaching my purpose, which I so desperately wanted, I completely cut every bit of that crap out of my life. I didn't need to do it. I didn't want to do it. I did every single thing that would make sure that I wasn't triggered. I closed my eyes whenever some sort of explicit picture was shown in front of me. Anything that you can think of, like, I was just driven, I was compelled to do those things. And that ended up being one of the longest periods of my life without playing video games, without going to those websites and watching those videos that I mentioned before. And what happened, I ended up building somewhat of a name for myself in my high school during my senior year, and it ended up being one of the best years of my whole childhood. And what was the main driver behind all of those changes? Purpose. So with high school out of the way, I have a second example that just proves that purpose is the key to breaking all of the bad habits that you're trying to get rid of. And this experience started at the end of 2022. I was starting to once again just become bored with life, and I said, you know what, screw it. I'm gonna go on Indeed and get myself a second job. Do I need the extra money? No, not really. But sorry, my dog just fell off of the love sack and it's trying to give me his bone. Dash, can you do that? Okay. So as I'm scrolling through Indeed, I stumbled upon a listing for a kickboxing instructor job. And that piqued my interest a little bit, so I clicked on it and I read it, and it said no experience needed. I was sold. So I applied, I did the interview, and I got the job. But then once I got the job, I realized that I was gonna be speaking in front of anywhere from like 1 to 20 people every single weekend, and that was a little bit stressful for me. I had to come prepared with interesting classes, energy, and technique so that I was giving these people a good experience for what they paid for. And in this position, I wanted to be the best at what I did. Like, I wanted people to come to my classes and actually walk out saying, man, I got a great workout. Man, I love taking Jay's kickboxing classes. So if we take it back to when I was in high school and I realized that going to those explicit sites every single day and doing whatever you do on those sites, they make you weird. So this was just like an automatic switch for me to not go to those sites and do whatever you do on those sites. And once again, I didn't want to, I didn't need to, and so I just didn't. And this was because I had a purpose. My purpose was to be good at my job, learn as much as I can, come prepared, and have people walk out loving what I did. And I knew that those sites would take me away from that purpose. So as you can see, the times of my life that have been absolutely the most progressive, the most full of growth, have been in times where I had an obvious, direct purpose that I was striving towards. And now I, like maybe yourself, am struggling with what I'm doing right now. It feels like my life is in complete disarray because I have all of these bad habits that are holding me back from my purpose, but really it's the complete opposite way around. My lack of purpose right now is depriving me of a direction to go full steam ahead without paying attention to any distractions, which is allowing those bad habits to pull me back to the other side, pulling me back because I have no reason to resist. So instead of focusing on the symptoms, which are the bad habits, which is like taking ibuprofen for neck pain, why don't we try curing the disease, which would be more like focusing on the muscular imbalances that are causing your neck to pull hard on this side so that this side of your neck actually hurts more because it's overstretched. Let's take all of that energy that we put towards the habits and redirect it, using it to figure out what our true purpose is. And that's gonna be my goal here on the channel, to find my purpose and then also help you find yours. So if that sounds good to you, feel free to stick around and like the video and subscribe to the channel just so that you don't miss out what's coming up next. But for now, I'm out.